Hey everybody, it's Dina with the Creativity Cave. I'm always excited to be stamping with you, and today is no exception. I have this amazingly simple yet totally gorgeous card, if I can just say, that I am excited to share with you. And what I love about it is so easy, but I have some really fun, cool tips that I think you're going to love. So let's get started. I'm going to grab some paper to protect my work surface because you know I am messy. So my card uses a couple of stamp sets. Well, actually just one stamp set, really. It uses the Just Add Text stamp set for the sentiment, but then I'm also using the Falling Flowers, actually the framelits. So the framelits are really cool in this stamp set, and we're going to use this one in two different ways. So first of all, I have die cut one of these flowers just like that in black, which I think is really fun. And then what I did was I die cut this design once more in some fun foam so that I could create my own stamp. And you can see it here. I've adhered it to my block with a little fast fuse. I don't know if you can, there's just a little bit of fast fuse under there holding it to the block. And this is such a fun way to make a stamp that you can use on your cards. So to put this together, and by the way, this is just regular standard, can find it at Walmart, fun foam, nothing fancy. It's not there's like thick sheets, there's regular sheets. This is just a regular sheet. I don't recommend using the adhesive backing, at least using that adhesive to adhere it to your block, because it probably is going to be hard to get off, and you don't want to damage your block by having to like scrape it off with a razor blade or something, you know. Although I suppose it depends on how sticky that adhesive is. I use just a little teeny bit of fast fuse so that when I do pull this off my block, I can just take some Goo Gone to get the adhesive off if I need to. Okay, so to make my card, I'm going to start with a half a sheet of cardstock that I cut the long way. And the reason I cut it the long way is so that I can tie some ribbon around the card this way when I'm getting ready to finish it. So that's what dictates whether I cut it the hamburger way or the hot dog way. Okay. Now, to prepare my background, I'm going to take my newfound fabulous stamp and I'm going to ink it up with some crumb cake ink. And I'm going to just tap it lightly onto my ink pad. And then I'm going to actually stamp off the first layer of ink and then stamp it on here like so. You pick up ink differently with the foam than you do with rubber or photopolymer, so it's kind of interesting, I guess. I would suggest playing with a little bit because you're going to get more or less ink than you want, probably regardless of what you do. But here you can see, like this, I was kind of light tapping it off, and here I was a little bit more pressing hard to get it off, and that was more what I was going for. But it's okay because it looks fine. And we're going to cover a lot of this up anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just wanted a little something on the background so that my card wasn't completely boring and bland. All right. Next, what I'm going to do is I die cut myself a circle of paper, printed paper, from the Whole Lot of Lovely, and I'm going to grab it. It's right behind me. This is a Whole Lot of Lovely DSP pack. I have been having such a blast with this paper. It's so beautiful. I featured it in a Facebook Live recently, not this week, but last week. And look at this paper. It's just so pretty. Look at that. Like, this is my favorite sheet. I don't know what to do with it. I have to do something, but I'm not sure yet what to do because it's just so pretty. Okay, so, but I promise I won't hoard it. I promise. So check back. We'll come up with something awesome. All right, so this is the largest circle from the Layering Circles framelits, and I'm going to take and adhere my flower. Now, adhering a flower, if you haven't seen this before, has always been kind of a tricky situation because it's really intricate and it's hard to get adhesive on there evenly and nicely and whatever. So I learned this technique a while ago, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to take a little stamping sponge. Mine looks disgusting, so I apologize. Here, this is the pretty side. The ugly side has glue and paper fibers and all kinds of goo on it, so ignore that part, except that it works like a dream. So I have my silicone mat, and the reason I use this mat is because the adhesive will just rub right off once it dries, so it's really wonderful. You can just keep using it over and over and over. And I'm just going to sponge my adhesive right onto the back of my shape. Now I want to make sure that I don't scoot it around while I'm doing that, otherwise I'll end up with lots of adhesive on the front, which of course we don't want. But generally speaking, I don't have much trouble with that. So I'll just adhere it to my piece of paper, and look at that. It's stuck on there perfectly, wonderfully great. I'm so happy. This was like one of those aha stamping tip moments for me when I learned it. Okay, now to finish this up, I want to do a few little tidbits here and there. I'm going to pop this up. Do you ever turn paper over when you're going to adhere it to a card or printed paper and you're like, oh, that side's so pretty? Like I almost feel bad that I'm sticking down that side of the paper. Okay, now I also die cut one of the leafy images from this set. I'm going to actually rip off the bottom because I don't need it to be the full piece. And then that extra bit sometimes gets in my way when I go to adhere it. All right, I'll take some fast fuse to tack this down right underneath my flower seat. And well, this is okay. So I have it just kind of sticking out like so. All right. Then I'm going to use one of our new faceted gems as soon as I find it. I just started organizing my supplies in these clear cases, clear mount stamp cases. They're so awesome. So I'm going to take one of these faceted gems. I'll take one of the small ones and just place it right here in the center. And I love that this card kind of has a vintage feel to it already. Now I'm going to use my stamp. Again, that is from the Just Add Text stamp set. I think these are gorgeous sayings. I really like this one too. I can't wait to play with it. Anyway, I'm going to stamp that in just some black ink onto my card. Life is better with friends. Oh, no truer words. I'll stamp that on there. Not even crooked. Yay! That always makes me happy. And then I'm going to take my black marker and I'm going to spritz on my card. I do have a dedicated spritzing marker, and I love spritzing. So there, we've got some spritz on there. I'm going to do just a little bit more, and I'm all happy with that. Sometimes when I spritz, my marker kind of sticks out a little bit, so I just stuck it back in there. I pushed on it, but this is a spritzing only marker, so I don't really care how it looks, because that's all I ever do with it. Okay, the last step for this is I'm going to add a little ribbon, and I think this with the spritzing really makes it for kind of a vintagey, shabby chic look. So I hope you like that look, because I love it. And sometimes you just never know where you're going to get that look from. So for instance, I would never really put this stamp set with a shabby chic look. It's more of a bright, fun, happy kind of stamp set, but this is kind of awesome. Okay, so I just have my little ribbon on there. I'm going to trim the ends just so they're a little more even. And that is my gorgeous card. Isn't that beautiful? I hope you've loved it. If you wanted to jazz it up, another thing we could do is we could also spritz with some clear Wink of Stella. So I'm just going to take my scissors and smack this against there, and you might not see much at first, but when you lift it up, you can really see the shimmer. Can you see that? It's so hard on camera to get it, but there's a little bit of shimmer on there now too. So anyway, hope you've loved this. Now all the details, supplies, and links to my online store for this card are on my blog. See the link in the description of this video, and don't forget to click right here to subscribe so that you do not miss any more of the awesome videos and tips that I share each week. I would so appreciate your order. If you need to order anything, please shop my online store, and I even have an online class for this gorgeous stamp set, so check that out as well. Thank you so much for stamping with me today, guys. Can't wait to see you again. Bye.